Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some NBA with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, you guys probably already heard the news, but I'll say it anyway. It's been reported by many news outlets that San Antonio Spurs great, NBA great, and the best power forward to ever play the game of basketball has stepped away and is retiring from the NBA. Tim Duncan, after 19 marvelous, exceptional years, is leaving the game of basketball. Now, this is not entirely surprising, maybe a little bit of surprise, but not really that big of a surprise. We've been asking the question for years, and the question has finally been answered. He's finally leaving the game of basketball. But, I don't want to sit here and go through all the accomplishments Tim Duncan has, the MVPs, the finals, the rings he won, the All-Star games. We already know that. You can go on Basketball Reference and look that up for yourself. But what I wanted to sit here and say about Tim Duncan is this. He wasn't as flashy as Kobe Bryant, and he wasn't as, violent in the paint as Shaquille O'Neal. But what Tim Duncan was the exact poster child, the exact definition for what a franchise player in the NBA is over the last 15 years, last 20 years. The guy is a model of consistency. The guy is a leader. The man is someone who always did the best thing for the team. Took pay cut after pay cut after pay cut. Took pay cuts to make the team better and allow them to get better, more talent. But more so than that, I wanted to say this because this came to me last night because last night I was watching a lot of Bill Russell documentaries. Particularly the one interview he did with Bill Simmons. If you haven't seen that, I'd suggest you go check it out. There's some great stuff in there. But I was watching a lot of the things that Bill Russell said about himself and that people said about Bill Russell in those documentaries. And when I heard the way they described Bill Russell and how he was, I couldn't help but think of Tim Duncan because it sounded just like Tim Duncan. Bill Russell, and he stands out as a player because when we look at Bill Russell, he's a guy that, over the course of his career in Boston, it was never about what could the Boston Celtics do for Bill Russell to make Bill Russell's life easier. It was always, Bill Russell, what can I do? Bill Russell, as the best player and the leader of this franchise, what can I do to make sure and ensure that the Boston Celtics are competing at a championship level and winning championship after championship after championship? And whatever it was, he did just that. Tim Duncan, no different. When it was time to be the franchise player, he was the franchise player. When it was time to move from power forward to center, he moved from power forward to center. When it was time to come off the bench, he came off the bench. When it was time to take a pay cut, he took a pay cut. You see, in the NBA, where we have so many me personalities, we have LeBron James saying, what are the Miami Heat going to do for me? We have Carmelo Anthony saying, what are the New York Knicks going to do for me? We have all these me personalities. And here we have a guy in Tim Duncan, who was never me, who was never a selfish guy as far as, putting his own needs before that of the team. He was never bigger than the San Antonio Spurs. His mentality simply was, what can I do as the leader of this franchise to make sure that the Spurs are in a position to compete for championships year after year after year. And what you got as a result of that was 50-win seasons every single year he was in the league. Every single year he was in the league, going to the playoffs, the highest level of excellence, the highest level of consistency, 5 championships, multiple MVPs. Tim Duncan had a great career. And I want to say this about Tim Duncan, all right? A lot of NBA fans, a lot of us younger fans especially, we were not blessed with the opportunity to watch Bill Russell. A lot of us are too damn ignorant, okay, to even go on YouTube and research Bill Russell or maybe go read about Bill Russell. But from what I read about Bill Russell, from what I know about Bill Russell, I will simply say this. The characteristics Tim Duncan has displayed, and just his overall, the way he is as a basketball player, he's just like Bill Russell. He gives us a glimpse into what it would have been like watching Bill Russell. Now, obviously not as great a defensive player as Bill Russell, but still, the way he is as a basketball player is the most similar. He is the most similar thing we will ever see to Bill Russell, and that speaks volumes to Tim. Bill Russell, if you guys don't know, the Celtics wanted to retire his number. He wanted it. He really didn't care about them retiring his number. His playing career and what he did, that was the validation. He didn't need the validation from the media, from sports writers, from the organization. The journey of his long and decorated career was more than enough for him. And Tim Duncan, we see that Kobe Bryant got a farewell tour and got all the special treatment. Cool. But Tim Duncan, just wrote a quiet little press release and just went out the way he had to go out. And didn't need no fanfare. But I'll say this. From someone who is not a Spurs fan and a huge appreciator of the game of basketball, let me say that Tim Duncan is the epitome of a franchise player. And he's someone that I wish more NBA players were like. So with that being said, thank you, Tim Duncan, for your indelible mark on the game of basketball.